Hey guys, it's Clayton from 3Sixteen Creative Works. Hey, listen, if you know me, you know that 3Sixteen Creative Works exists to partner with artists, businesses, and churches. One of my good friends is a business guy. It's the Maynard family, and they run a business, and now they're in partnership with us. So that's Precision Door Service. Listen, in case of emergency, I always call Precision Door Service. They are experts in repairing, replacing all your garage doors and overhead doors. They can be reached. They got two numbers. The Indiana side is area code 219-306-8155. Again, 219-306-8155. Now, on the Illinois side, Precision Door Service can be contacted at area code 708-474-6657. The number again is 708-474-6657. You can always get them at precisiongarage-door.com. That's precisiongarage-door.com. Of course, we'll probably have Justin throw a contact card up there for you so you guys can see it if you're watching this. Again, this is Clayton from 3Sixteen Creative Works, introducing you to another member of the family, the business of Precision Door Service. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking us out.
You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You just one brick at a time, one day at a time. Hey, everyone. I am Clayton from 3Sixteen Creative Works. Thanks so much for checking out another 3Sixteen podcast. This is Recreate, and it's about rebuilding my health. Always want to thank our favorite people in the whole entire world, Larry and Sandy. Thank you so much. Our producer, who is Justin, our creative producer, who is Esther, and the house manager, Danielle. Guys, I am so excited to have back on the phone with us today. My coach and my new favorite person in the whole wide world is Coach Christine Geerling. Hey, Christine, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. What if I was any better? I'd probably be you, right?
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So here we are. I mean, what we could probably do all the catch up and the niceties later, but we should just for a listening audience. There's a lot of things on my mind today, and I kind of just want to start cracking this nut. So I think we're about to finish week 3. Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because I'm not really keeping track of it. So is there an expectation of where I should be wrapping up week 3?
I mean, in regards to what? In regards to how much weight you've lost? In regards to mindset?
Yeah. All that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so every body is different. Men tend to lose a little bit faster than women, just generally speaking. But for the most part, people tend to lose between 10 and 15 pounds in the first month. But I think that you're actually going to be ahead of that curve. So you let me know. Where are you at now?
Yeah, so it's a strange thing. I mean, this was kind of a tough week. I mean, getting into it. So last week I had a couple business dinners, and that exercises your motivation or self-will or your whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I think we made through it. This week was a different challenge. So we had a pizza party. Right, and so here's the thing. Pizza is absolutely my love language. If you want to tell me thank you or I appreciate you so much, just bring me a pizza and then leave, right? Just so I can have the whole thing myself.
Thank you.
But I didn't. So it's a lot like alcoholism. Really, it's 30 days of deconstructing yourself, figuring out what you do, why you do, how you do, and kind of reapproaching food. So I didn't have pizza, and there were some hard days. But we made through that, and I'm still on the scale about every day, just because I want to see where it goes. And I'm not really recording it until every Monday.
Sure.
But I felt a little defeated this week. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
And here's
what happened.
Well, here's why. And I just got to be honest and truthful with everybody. The first week, I lost like 9 pounds. And the second week, I lost like 7 pounds. And then going into week 3, I think I gained a pound or two. Now I know we don't record anything until like the same day, like Monday morning, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Monday, I was like back up to 226. I was like, what the?
Okay.
What are they doing? So I'm thinking, so clearly it's me, right? I've done something wrong.
Well, not necessarily.
And then I so I think one of my weak things is not trying to beat the system, but just maybe putting my toe over the limit a little bit. We talked about that last time, right? Just putting my toe over a little bit.
Yeah.
And then eventually you put the whole foot over a little bit. And so I realize I'm putting my toe over a little bit by having too much fatty meat. Like when they say you should lean and green, I think they really mean lean. And I think they really mean,
they really do.
Yeah, I think they really mean you should weigh it out to be 5, 6, or 7 ounces. So I had a 16-ounce ribeye this weekend. Now, a couple things. One is it was a special dinner. A friend of the family took us all out for dinner. It was a great night. So I had a salad, had a soup, had vegetables, and I had a 16-ounce ribeye. And so no breads, no potatoes, no carbs, none of the crap. And still, 3 weeks in, no sugars, no breads, no carbs, whatever. But I think 16 ounces of ribeye is probably a little much, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit much. Yeah. So that explains the scale for sure. And here's the thing: modified plan is going to lead to modified results. That's just how it is. Yeah. But you're a big boy.
Yeah, I love your common sense approach to the whole thing, right? I mean, modified. It's going to modify.
Yeah, exactly. It's science, how it works.
Yeah. So big boy, and I'll make my own decisions. That hasn't proved successful in the past, though. So.
Right. All right. So here's what I want you to do.
Well,
I want you to actually.
I'm not through with the week because it gets weirder.
Okay.
Right. So.
Okay. Good.
So I'm stalling out. So I get back like regular. Get my toes back on this side of the line. I get regular, and I don't know. Lost. Went back down to where I was the week before. It just feels defeating, right? So two of the defeating things is one is the newness is over. I'm in week 3. Okay, I've done it.
Right.
Can we move back to normal now? And second of all, the scale went the wrong way, so kind of pull it back a little bit. And then like Wednesday or whatever, 224. But here's the crazy thing. Okay. When you get back on the plan, drinking your water, taking your fuelings, if you really try to stay lean and green for your meal, today I was 221.
Wow.
So almost at the end of 3 weeks, a full, true 20 pounds down.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how's it feel?
It was kind of a rough weekend, first part of the week that just faithfulness showed. It, you know what? It worked. So that's where I'm at today. 221. I started 241 about 3.5 weeks ago, and I feel great. So now back to
I love it. That's awesome. Man, there's so much to dig in here. So really, I hear the whole all right, I'm 3 weeks in, the newness is over.
Yeah.
How much longer do I have to do this, right? And that is where we really have to dig back into your why. Yeah. Why are you doing this to begin with?
Yeah, so that's
because
crazy.
The structural, I have 20 pounds in 3 weeks. It's fantastic. It doesn't surprise me. That's fantastic. But because you are now down 20 pounds, I'm guessing your pants are fitting a bit better. I'm guessing you're just, you feel yourself a little bit. When you look in the mirror, you're like, okay, all right, we're getting there.
Yeah, all right, so let me address that. I have been 225 pounds for the last couple of years. My clothes are for a 225-pound short man, right? So over the last year, I've gained another 15. So I guess the disappointing part of that is I'm back to where I should have been a year ago, right? So if I would have met you a year ago and we had done this, I'd probably be closer to being done. But COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, let's find all the excuses in the book, right? Depression, COVID,
Yeah, sure.
parents
Yeah,
dying, the whole deal. So I gained 15 pounds.
Mhm.
But the truth is, I am now 4 pounds less than I have been for the last couple of years. And it took me 3 weeks to get there.
Yeah.
So my clothes actually fit like they're supposed to now.
Yeah.
But I see where you're going
Right.
with that. Give it another, couple weeks or so. Yes, my clothes will be big on me. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Well, even just like when you take off your pants at the end of the day and you're like, oh, I don't have that like red line on my stomach where my clothes were digging into me. Like,
right.
That's a non-scale victory right there.
Yeah.
When you're just like, wow, I'm not in pain. My clothes aren't hurting me. Like that is fantastic. But the structural tension. So you started because you were at a point where you're like, this is not working any longer. I am uncomfortable. I don't recognize myself. Like I cannot, this is untenable. Like I'm not going to continue doing this. I feel gross, right? That's where you start. And now you lost 20 pounds and you feel less gross.
Yeah.
Your clothes are fitting,
Yeah.
it's less of a, you don't wake up and look in the mirror and think, oh my gosh, I hate this. It's like, okay, run away. I recognize that guy now.
Yeah.
Like that's where I was. I recognize him. So the structural tension is significantly decreased, right?
Yeah.
It's not, the driver isn't there as much. So now we really need to dig into why you started to begin with.
Yeah.
If your why was just, I want to get back to where my clothes are fitting and I feel comfortable, then congratulations, you're there.
We're there, yeah.
But you wanted more than that, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to actually be really proud of who you are and how the reflection you see in the mirror. You want to see pictures of yourself and say like, heck yes, I know that guy. I'm Antonio Banderas. Like I feel
Here we
fantastic.
go, right, yeah.
Right? Like you want to be your wife's orange candy.
Yeah. That's right. I want to be the trophy wife. I want to be the trophy husband. Yeah. That's me.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. We'll talk about a couple of those things. So 3 weeks in, you get a little bored, right? So you got to dig a little bit deeper because I've done this before, right? I mean, we've all been on a diet for 2 weeks, or we've all lost 20 pounds for 2 weweeks, right? So this so far is nothing new.
I don't know that most people have lost 20 pounds in a couple weeks, but sure.
The newness wears off. You kind of read some things. You had the food, but here's some of the things that are changing. Mindset is absolutely changing, which means I really feel like I need to eat something, fuel something every couple of hours. I really feel like I need to eat something. I mean, within a half hour of getting up. If I wait longer than a half hour, I'm really hungry. So it's not that one gorging meal all day long, right? Which I used to say. I used to have one meal, 3,000 calories, and that would be it. It's now 1,500 calories spread evenly throughout the day. And I'm going to tell you, after I eat something or fuel by something or something within 5 minutes, I want to run a freaking marathon, and I hate running. It's the craziest thing in the world. Even like the normal food at night, oh man, I get hyper and bounce, and it's very bizarre because I'm a very sedentary person. The less I move, the happier everybody is, right?
Versus before, you would eat this massive meal and then be like, oh my gosh, I just need somebody roll me to my bed and like let me pass out because I have no energy.
And all the pain and inflammation that goes with that, the headaches and the whole deal. So therefore you eat more and sleep more. And okay, so here's another non-scale victory, right? So I've lost 20 pounds in 2 or 3 weeks, which I think is great. But I'm going to tell you, I think it's all in my face because I haven't lost any inches on my body.
Interesting.
However, when I look in the mirror, I used to be a fat, chubby 47-year-old. Now my face is like a skinny old man face. So it's very strange. Like I don't recognize myself. But I will tell you what, you know that inner guy that you see in yourself, or for you that inner lady that you see, I'm starting to look more like I think I actually look.
Yeah. I love that. And that means something, right? So I want you to kind of think through, like, what are the consequences? Because there are consequences either way. So what are the consequences of you staying on plan, of doing plan correctly? What are the consequences of that?
Yeah.
Paint me a picture. What's that look like?
Well, yeah. So I actually did think through this yesterday. I actually thought because this life book. All right, let's just back up a second. We're going to run out of time. And I'm so sorry. I'm just so talkative today. First of all, the Dr. A
Today?
book, the Dr. Anderson. This
Yeah.
dude, I fell madly in love with this guy. Now, not in a weird, sexy
I know.
sort of way, but I'm like, I really like him. Like, I really, really
Yeah,
like
me
him.
too. Yeah.
I like his shtick. I like his stuff. I don't know about these other programs, but he's got a beautiful family. He's a good looking guy. You know, my heart breaks when I read the introduction that his wife just passed away. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
you do what you can, and then God does the rest, right? But
Yep.
he's really, really good, and he hit on some things. Just analyzing yourself. And so I went into the life book, chapter 1, right? I mean, so first was this great introduction, right? And then secondly, the what's your why, and he made you
Yep.
kind of fill out this evaluation, and on a scale of like 0 being bad and 60 being perfect. He said, let's break your life down in 3 sections, right? Spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, emotional, mental, and physical.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, here's the truth, because I'm trying to be truthful. My mental spiritual was like 58 on a 60, and
Yeah.
that wasn't like a bragging thing. It was just I've put a lot of work
Yeah.
into spiritual
Yeah.
health. It was certainly coming out of rehab and trying to save my marriage
Mm-hmm.
and starting ministry work and doing things. I work a lot, hard
Mm-hmm.
on spiritual work. Mental, I think I was a 48 on
Yeah.
60. And it's because I love my family, I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my friends. I've got really good things going on, a great job, great podcasts. A month in, this is crazy how great this has taken off. And so a lot of great things going on. So 48, I think, out of 60. And then my health was like a 25. And these are just
Yep.
honest things. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
clearly I've worked hard on spiritual stuff. Clearly I've worked hard on mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I have spent the last 47 years not paying one damn bit of care about my physical health. And that is absolutely true. Everything is important in my life except my physical health,
Yep.
spiritual,
Yeah.
emotional, mental. But my physical health was the last thing I was concerned about. So that was the first jarring thing in section 1. So you said my homework this week was get into life section 1, right?
Yep.
So that was the first thing that was pretty startling. Second thing that was pretty startling was articulating or putting words to my why. I'm gonna tell you my why if I can remember it. My why do I want to recreate myself physically is so that I can live as long as I can, as vibrantly as I can, for the one I love to do it with the one I love to do it with. I want to live as long as I can, as vibrantly as I can, for the person who created me, with the person I get to live life with. And so let's just unpack that. This life for me right now is really great. Even the hard days is really great because on the other side of this life is heaven. So I'm going there. I'm getting there. But until then, let's make life a ball, right? The good things, the bad things, and stuff. So I want to do this life as long and as vibrantly as I possibly can, living for God, because there's an adventure in that, babe. But secondly, I want to do it with my wife. Like I like her. I like spending time with her. I like being with her. Of course, we got some weird, quirks, and we don't always get along. But I genuinely like spending the days with her and the evenings with her. And so I want to live the God adventure with my wife for as long and as healthfully as I possibly can. And I don't know that I can find any other reason for caring about my health than that.
Yeah, I love that. But that's beautiful. I love how that's phrased. So I want you to have that, write it as a screensaver on your phone. Put it on, a Post-it note on your dashboard. Put it in your bathroom mirror. I want that to be in your face often, because somebody is going to come over and bring pizza again, right? And now your pants fit. Yeah. So, who cares? I want to have some of that pizza, right? Because the pain is not as stark. but you're still on a journey, right? So we can no longer compare, like, do I want this pizza or do I not want this pizza? Because you're going to always want the pizza. Now we have to say, do I want this pizza or do I want to live as long as I can, as vibrantly as I can for the one who created me, with the one I get to be my life with?
That's
well, then the pizza is kind of laughable, right?
Yeah, it becomes very true. And one of the things that Dr. Ace said in the thing is he said your old self never thought that one meal mattered. And I'm going to tell you that's exactly how it was. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what, I didn't eat today. Go ahead, have a half a pizza. It's not going to matter that much. But I'm going to tell you, by doing the opposite, it adds up and it matters. And those calories add up just like pennies in your bank.
Absolutely.
So I love it. I love the head work. I love the heart work. Here's my fear, and this may take some prayer for me and for my wife, and maybe even for you if you don't mind joining me in this prayer. But here's the thing that I've also come to realize: I don't trust people. Like, I have a serious trust issue. And last week we talked about how there's no emotional weirdness with all this thing. Well, here it comes. You ready? After 3 weeks, here comes the emotional baggage and the breakage that I need to deal with. Right. So it comes from this. I don't trust people. I don't trust them. And I looked long and hard about that this week, and I'm trying to think, well, do I have like broken leadership in my past? Has a leader hurt me? Did I not trust my parents? And I went through all that, and really, no, it's not about that. So I dug a little layer deeper. I don't trust myself. See, I still think I'm a quitter. I still think I'm a failure. Because like I said, after 3 weeks, this thing got kind of boring, a little hard, and I think I should just quit because I've proven I could do it. I just don't care to do it anymore, right? And so every big important thing in my life, I kind of quit. And so I don't trust myself, which means I don't trust you. I don't trust people. I don't trust the system. I don't trust, but really, I don't trust me to finish. Yeah. So that was a hard emotional realization.
Yeah. So the goal is to build integrity with yourself. Build integrity with yourself.
Yeah, that's hard.
One choice at a time.
Yeah. Oh boy.
One choice at a time. Because we can't do more than that anyways. No. But I want you, when you're getting in bed at night, I want you to look back on your day and say, like, all right, well, I said this morning I was going to drink at least 64 ounces of water, and I did. Yeah. I said this morning that I was going to fuel myself every couple hours, and I did. I said this morning that I was going to weigh and measure that lean and green, and when I had the opportunity, because I know you eat out at restaurants like every day, but when you have the opportunity, like, you did. You made the best choice that you could given their circumstances. And I want you to build yourself up every single day. Yeah. Because the more that you are saying, like, I said I was going to do it and I did. I said I was going to do it and I did. And sometimes you're going to say, I said I was going to do it and I didn't. Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. Because there is a place for grace in our lives. No one journeys perfectly. Dr. A doesn't make every choice perfectly. I mean, that man is amazing, and I think he just about makes every nutrition choice pretty perfectly, but he is human, and he is going to make some choices that are not the best. But he has built integrity with himself. I have built integrity with myself. Yeah. Does that mean that last night I didn't dive into a bag of Swedish fish? Nope, I did, and that's unfortunate. And I just posted about it, and I'm, like, great. But here's the thing, like, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, dang it. Why did I do it? And not because I ate candy. Who cares? Yeah, right. I'm annoyed with myself because I made that choice mindlessly. Yeah. Because I was feeling emotions I didn't feel like feeling, but I chose to numb myself with some sugar. Yeah. And that is the head and heart work that I'm still doing. Yeah, I lost over 100 pounds, and I'm still doing this head and heart work. I will forever, and so will you. Yeah,
I love it. It's great. I mean, I cannot appreciate you and your work enough, your love and your encouragement. Now I'm assuming your prayers to break through the trust issues, because it really is a matter of, I just don't trust myself. I will fail you. I will fail this. I will quit. But I'm going to tell you, 3 weeks in, the feelings are getting better. I'm making better choices, and the difference is I want to. It's not. I can do this for 3 weeks. it so far is life changing. So I'm looking forward to digging into the next life elements. Next week, I'll probably get into the life element number 2. And they're interesting. And hey, so here's the thing. I'm assuming this is where the hard work begins, right? The first 2-3 weeks might be kind of easy, but this is where the hard work begins, right? It begins at week 3. The emotional, head, physical, all have to line up. I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
So, hey,
So
Coach.
week 1 is the hardest physical week, but from here on out, we're doing the head and heart work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach, I love you so much. I appreciate you. You're so great. All the texts every day and all the education and all this stuff. Tell Dr. A I said hey, and I can't wait to meet him real life and in person. Guys, thanks so much for checking out another 316 podcast. This is Recreate. I am Clayton from 316 Creative Works. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Hey, this is Clayton from 316 Creative Works talking about our podcast. Listen, if you like any of this stuff that you saw or you heard, I'm going to give you a couple places where you might find it. Besides coming in live to the Farmhouse Studios, there's a couple platforms you can find these on. So you can check out Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and SoundCloud. So for the cheap seats in the back there, let me say this one more time. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and SoundCloud. You can find it under 316 Podcasts.